All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WeBook It Podcast. Let's start the show.
Yo, what's up, WeBook It fam? This is your boy, Big Daddy C, the reigning, defending booking champion of the world. Filling in for Coach here tonight. Normally, I'm one of the guests on the show producing, with Coach. But he's recovering from a busy weekend camping. He had a lot of fun, maybe a little bit too much fun. So he's recovering, but he shall be returning later on this week for any other shows if he's free. But he'll definitely be back next Monday, hopefully. So, but yeah, we had a nice little action-packed night for you. This is the go-home show for Monday Night RAW. The go-home show heading into Money in the Bank, which is this Saturday. There will also be, I believe, I want to say Friday. I believe it's the World's Collide. I gotta go back and check and make sure. But yeah, so this weekend is going to be pretty busy for WWE. Then of course SmackDown is on Friday, so I think World's Collide might be earlier on Saturday. It might be, yeah. But yeah, so kicking off the show, we had CM Punk. He hit the ring, didn't waste no time discussing his plans for Money in the Bank, which included obviously potentially winning tonight's qualifying match, which is a triple threat match that he's going to be in with AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. He basically was talking about winning the briefcase after winning the qualifying match and then eventually challenging either Jey Uso or John Cena when he does win. He would soon be interrupted by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn warned Punk not to worry about Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman as much as he will want to. And he's fixated on those guys, and so are they fixated on him. He basically was telling him he needs to focus on winning Money in the Bank because if Seth Rollins does win Saturday night, the result will be devastating for the Raw brand. And so the segment pretty much ended with Sami Zayn planting the seeds for the eventual showdown between them, as he's told him, if you happen to qualify for the match and win the Money in the Bank and possibly win any of the world championships, me and you will be face-to-face in this ring, and I will be the one challenging you. So he's like, just beware of that. So I enjoyed the segment. Obviously there's some history between Punk and Sammy, dating back to we'll say they both were in ROH. I'm not sure how much they were in ROH at the same time, but they have history there. Obviously, Sammy's early days in NXT, as CM Punk was getting ready to get out of there back in 2013, I guess. But yeah, it was a solid promo. And basically, and this, I want to see more between these two. Hopefully they get a feud going down the line. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. So next up we had let's see here. We had a backstage segment with Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Basically, Liv warned her to stay out of her business tonight, and told EO Sky that it's only a matter of time before I win Money in the Bank again and then take that title back. And so then you fast forward to the arena. So it was a triple threat match, qualifying match between her, Ivy Nile, and the former NXT Women's Champion and newly signed Stephanie Vaquer to the roster. I'm glad to see her on Monday Night Raw, but I'm sad that she's not on NXT anymore for obvious reasons. Booker T, yeah, y'all know. And so this match was pretty solid. Stephanie Vaquer, of course, did her thing, high flying maneuvers, hard hitting, a lot of reversals, a lot of near falls in this match. It looked like Liv was going to take advantage after some major moves by Vaquer and Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile tried to take advantage of Liv Morgan. She tried to take advantage after Liv Morgan hit Stephanie Vaquer with her finisher. And then eventually there was a breakup, and then Vaquer took advantage, hit her finisher for the win. I can't think of the finishers right now. It's late. I'm like, I was trying to stay focused the whole time. But yeah, so Stephanie Vaquer will take advantage and win the match, and she is now qualified. She's officially qualified for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So I was telling a friend earlier, I think they're going to push her to the moon on the main roster. She is the truth. They did a trial run when she was NXT champion. That match against Io Sky, that surprise appearance that she had on Monday Night Raw. That just showed you everything. Like she's going to be over on the main roster. So I cannot wait to see how far Stephanie Vaquer goes on Monday Night Raw. Moving on, let me see here. What's going on here? My computer is acting stupid. Okay. All right. During the commercial break portion of the show, there was some "We Want Truth" chants. As we all know, R-Truth announced that he will. He said he got released, but technically, he's still on the contract, but they won't renew it. And so basically, his time in WWE after nearly 20 years is coming to an end. And so we're all sad about that. We know how much entertainment, Truth has brought to the company, as well as other things. A lot of superstars talked about how well, how great he was as a person, and how much how much he meant to them, and just it's weird because it's almost like it sounded like he died, but he didn't. It's just one of those, when you have that effect on a locker room. Not just WWE, but you got people with other companies that, have been around R-Truth that have they're basically saying some of the same thing, just so much positivity in regards to, Truth. And so, yeah, it's just awesome, to see the outpouring that has happened. I don't know if it was a mutual interest, a mutual agreement between the two groups, between Triple H and R-Truth, in terms of what they wanted to do. But I think maybe this could be all right, they're not going to renew his contract, but maybe they work out another type of Legends contract or something like that, where R-Truth can appear sporadically. I know I've heard something about R-Truth working on music and all this other stuff. But Karrion Kross put out something basically saying, hey, just because R-Truth is not with the company anymore, still follow him on socials, keep up with what he's doing, so that way, still showing the support. But I'm excited to see what endeavors that R-Truth is going to engage in from here on out. I don't know if he's going to be done with wrestling completely, but we shall see. Moving on, we had a match between the War Raiders and the Judgment Day. Obviously, these two teams have feuded before, and then they had New Day over on commentary, talking their shit as usual. And so basically, there was some involvement there. They tried to get involved in the match, only to be thrown out by the ref. And then eventually there was some interference by Roxanne Perez, which ultimately aided the Judgment Day in a win against the War Raiders. Next up, we had a promo with Becky Lynch, essentially, talking her shit about Lyra, saying, "Hey, you had this match because of me. You're relevant. You have this title because of me. All this other shit. Typical heel move that you would expect. We've seen it before. And so ultimately, Becky's fired up for this match. And then I'm sure Lyra is as well. Lyra will give her promo. She comes out to the ring for an in-ring promo. But as you would expect, Becky Lynch came out there, interrupted, and there was a brawl. they hands were thrown. They got the throwing haymakers, bro. And of course, security came out there to pull them apart. So I'm ready to see this rematch. I think this will probably end in Becky winning. I don't know how she's going to win, but I think Becky will probably get the upper hand this time against Lyra. And then I'm sure they'll have a part 3. So obviously, if you're going to have a part 3, you need to have the heel win the championship, and then get the grudge match at another time. And so those are my thoughts on that. Next up, we had a backstage segment. Basically, Rhea Ripley welcoming Stephanie Vaquer to the main roster, which drew a big pop from the crowd in regards to this, because shows us that we want to see these dream matchups. We want to see these two go at it at some point. So I hope. I mean, we're going to get a taste of it at Money in the Bank. They're both in the match on the women's side, so we'll see. We get a little taste of that at the pay-per-view. And hopefully we get a one-on-one match between these two down the line. Next up, we have our main. Oh, well, not our main event, but our co-main event. We got Jey Uso and Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. As we know, these two, along with CM Punk and Rollins, they've been feuding over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So basically, during this match, Jey and Sami had an advantage. The heels basically dominated the action until there's always a hot tag at any moment in time in a tag team match. Zayn tagged in Uso to spark the comeback. Then the action eventually broke down with all 4 men finding themselves outside of the ring, allowing Seth Rollins to come out of nowhere to deliver a stomp to Jey Uso, drawing a disqualification. And then there was a moment where they were trying to take out Sami. Bronson Reed got on the top rope. They had Sami on the announce table. Bron Breakker was holding him down. And then here comes CM Punk with a steel chair, hits Bron Breakker in the back. And then he throws a chair at Bronson Reed. And then starts attacking Seth Rollins. And then they pretty much run off after that. And so Rollins basically saying, look, we got him where we want him. We know where he's going to be later on tonight. So let's just keep it. Let's just be patient. We're going to be all right. So next up, we had another backstage segment. We had Liv Morgan expressing her distrust of Finn Balor, basically saying, hey, look, I know what you up to. You on some shady shit. And Finn, what you talking about? What you talking about? I ain't doing nothing. I'm just trying to get somebody an opportunity. Chill out. But basically she was she basically shut down this plan for Roxanne Perez to accompany Raquel Rodriguez to ringside for her match against one of the former Damage Control girls. I can't think of the girl. Kairi Sane, because that's what the next match was. So Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez was the next match. And so Kairi Sane had got the upset over Liv Morgan to qualify for the women's ladder match for the Money in the Bank. So this is kind of like a David versus Goliath match, if you really want to call it that. Rodriguez, she had the power advantage, of course, while Kairi Sane has the speed. And so there was some interference on Liv Morgan late in this contest, which would bring out Io Sky, who is a friend and a former partner of Kairi Sane. Basically fending off Liv Morgan, allowing Kairi Sane to take advantage and earn another victory with the insane elbow on Raquel Rodriguez. And so looks like this could lead to a tag team title match with Io and Kairi Sane going against Liv and Raquel. Basically they're the last two of they're the current, they're the remnants of the Damage Control right now, as Asuka is currently out with an injury, and Bailey is she's just written off. I don't know if she's actually hurt legitimately. And then of course we know that I don't know why I can't think of people's names. Dakota Kai had been released, so she's gone. So now there are only really 4 Damage Control members left. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with Io and Kairi challenging for the tag titles at some point. I do see them winning. I think that'd be pretty cool. Io Sky can be a double champion. Next up, we had the main event. We finally here at the main event. We had CM Punk versus AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano. I was excited for this one because I believe in terms of WWE non-Royal Rumble related matches, this had to be CM Punk's first time in a legit match with AJ Styles. And I was like, man, this is damn near dream level. I'm pretty sure they faced off before. Might have been in not ROH, but probably TNA, like the early days of TNA. CM Punk, he had a little stint there. And then obviously AJ pretty much made his name there at TNA. This was the final Money in the Bank qualifying match. But prior to this match, there was a backstage segment with Gunther, basically sat down with Jey Uso, basically delivering some final words ahead of their match, which will be next Monday night on Raw. It was a good promo. Basically saved the fans from another needless promo. Basically, he's talked about how, he was like, look, I commend you for being a great champion, a good champion. I know you're trying so hard to be a great champion. And you're basically saying like you're resilient and all this other stuff. And, basically was giving him his respects. But ultimately he was like, you got your eyes on a lot of different things going on. Like you got the stuff with Cody happening, all the stuff with Rollins and Sami and all that. It's like, you got the tag team match at Money in the Bank, and then 2 days later the match against me. So I'm like, he's like, since you're not really, taking this, it seemed like you're not taking this as serious as you should. And I knew the moment that I lost the title at Mania, I was going to avenge my loss and take the title back. And he's like, and then that's exactly what I'm going to do next Monday night. And I was just like, man. And so he tried to get up and leave. And Jay was like, no, boy. He's like, 3 words. He's like, 3 letters, 1 word. Tap. And then Gunther just walked off. I'm like, oh, okay. He said he gonna make him tap out again. I'm like, okay. All right. I thought they was about to start scrapping again. I'm like, hey, I'm down for a locker room scrap, man. It's good to see something like that. We ain't had a locker room scrap in a hot minute between 2 combatants for a world championship. But yeah, I think that match is going to be pretty solid on next Monday. Hopefully Jey is ready, man, because coming off of a heated tag team match with John Cena and Logan Paul, man, I don't know how you're going to do it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, back to the main event. We had the triple threat. CM Punk, AJ Styles, El Grande Americano. And so, man, this match gave you everything you want. Action packed. Every bit of a good one that you would expect from a main event. And while it looked like, there's a lot of reversals, a lot of near falls, a lot of athleticism in his match. Seasoned veterans, between these three guys. It gave you everything you would want. And so, of course, while it looked like CM Punk was going to have the win, he will get pulled out of the ring by Bron Breakker. And then here comes him and Bronson Reed. They're attacking him and just beating him down. Then Sami and Jey Uso come out there for the save. And they all scrapping, and then AJ Styles he prepares for the phenomenal forearm, only to be bumped into. Basically, Sami pushed Bronson Reed into AJ, and AJ fell down on the apron, and then they're still scrapping, and then Seth Rollins come out there. To get in the mix, and then AJ basically springboards and does a springboard crossbody on everybody outside the ring, and then while all of that is going on, and he tries to get back in the ring. Well, while all of that is happening, El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable's, putting a little steel plate in his mask to try to take advantage. And that's exactly what happened. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm springboards, only to be basically hit in the head with by Americano, and with the steel plate in his head for the 1-2-3. El Grande Americano is officially qualified for the men's Money in the Bank match. So after this match, still action happening. The Heels essentially just destroyed, they destroyed Jey, CM Punk, and Sami Zayn. Once again, it just seemed like it's a recurring theme between these guys. And ain't no telling how long this dominance is going to take place. And I feel like they still got one more person to add, I feel like. And my guess is it might be Sami. There was also a backstage segment early on that I forgot about. It was Sami and Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross was saying, bruh, what we doing? You're not a good person. The part of you wants to join and turn on CM Punk and Jey. It could happen, but it can't happen, but I think it will. And basically, he kind of gave Sami something to think about, because he was in deep thought after Karrion Kross said that. And so I would say at Money in the Bank, something shocking always happens at these Money in the Bank pay-per-views. Outside of someone cashing in, I expect at least one cash in at Money in the Bank. But what leads up to that remains to be seen. So there's always something shocking that happens. So I'm excited to see what happens with this pay-per-view. Hope you all are too. That was the main event of Monday Night Raw. This has been your boy Big Daddy C, stepping in for Coach, who is recovering from an amazing weekend camping. And so we will catch you guys. I know tomorrow Virgil will be recording his reaction on the Who's Next NXT episode. Basically his recap of NXT. And so stay tuned for that tomorrow evening after NXT airs. And so yeah. This is your boy Big Daddy C signing out. Catch you guys. I'll probably be I'll be recording for AEW podcast next Thursday, this Thursday coming up. So stay tuned for that. And then of course SmackDown, the SmackDown Lowdown show with Fritos. And then I believe we're also going to have like another special episode where we're going to give our predictions for Money in the Bank. And then also I'm putting my booking championship on the line. You know, gotta defend the title. You know, I want to be a defending champion. You know, I gotta step in. Unlike some people that weren't defending their titles, you know, for like a whole year. I am a fighting champion. Oh, speaking of fighting, I got my Jada Parker shirt finally came in a little bit early. I ordered that joint last week. And so I was happy when she announced that she had some merch coming out because I've been waiting. Jada Parker is on point. That's what it says. It is on point. Yeah, you know, and you're damn right she on point. I love that woman. I love her. But yeah, I'm out of here. Catch y'all later. Peace.